Good. Let's take some calls. 01243 55 60 60. Going to answer them one by one. So if you're calling now and it's just ringing, stay there or come back in a minute, okay? Who's this first on line 1? Hello?
I don't know, is that me on line 1?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Okay, I never know what line I am. I was line 4 the time before, 3 the time before that. I can never tell what line I'm on.
Oh, well.
But, hello?
Hello.
Yeah, it's me, it's Tom from Tots TV. I've called you before, Tommy.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit disappointed, I have to say, by some of the editorial decisions of the Something Corporation and the Play Radio UK.com. I mean, I think that, you know, you being a...
Such as what?
Well, I'll come to that. It's with Tommy. Tommy being, of all people, an children's TV presenter, yeah, and now a major radio talk host. And yet, all I can say is, I'm very disappointed to see there's no children's radio channel on Play Radio UK's sort of fleet of channels. What is wrong with it? Why can't we have a children's radio station in the mix?
Well, okay, like what?
Well, you could have nursery rhymes for an hour, and then afterwards you could have a Jack and Ori story. And you could have some little jokes for little kids or something. You would have people talking in stupid voices.
How many kids have you got?
I've got 3 kids. Well, it depends how many marriages you're referring to. I've got 3 kids from this marriage and 2 kids from an earlier marriage.
Right. And what age are they now?
Well, at the moment they're a bit older, aren't they? Well, the oldest one is 18.
Right.
And then I've got 13. I've got 9. I've got 6 and 5.
Okay. So when they were, what age are you thinking about? What age of children are you thinking about these radio programs for? 3 to 5, 5 to 7? What are you thinking?
Well, I think you should have a kind of listen with mother style hour, which is for the under 5s. I think it should have that.
Why mother? That's a bit sexist. That's a bit sexist there, son.
Well, I believe in Piaget. I mean, you must have read Piaget, Thomas.
What do you want to know about Jean, mate?
Well, I want to know about whether you would dispute Piaget's theories about maternal deprivation being more important than paternal deprivation.
Yes, I would. There are a lot I would disagree with Piaget about, actually. But you've not answered my question.
It was experimental.
She. Oh dear. Hello.
Yeah.
She was experimental. Yes.
What? Piaget wasn't a bloke?
No, Jean.
You're mucking me about now, Tommy.
No, you're mucking...
That's John.
No,
that's John Piaget.
No,
he's a bloke.
No, Jean. It's like George Eliot. Woman.
No.
It is.
Jean is it's just written Jean, but it's actually Jean. Like Jean Paul II.
You say that. Well, he's a bloke. We know.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, we know he's a bloke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why did you say she?
Because
you're trying to confuse me now. You think just because I'm
in any case,
just because you're Welsh.
In any case, I think you'll find that further studies actually went on to show that it didn't have to be the mother; it could be a permanent mother substitute. Therefore, it doesn't have to be a woman.
No, it's not. It's all right. Then listen with mother substitute. I think it's getting back to the point. We'd have a listen with mother substitute hour.
All right, just stay there. Just wait there for a second, will you? I want to try something. Okay, don't hang up. All right.
I'm not hanging up.
No. Okay. What do you want? Hello.
You love Simon Darby.
He's all right. He's quite a good-looking boy, but I don't love him. Is that it? Okay. All right. Now, the bloke was going on about having children's programmes on.
Mm-hmm.
I've thought about it. I have thought about it.
Yeah.
It's a good question, but he was mucking about with a voice, I thought, and so...
See, what I would do is actually get a youngster in to present it as well.
Would you?
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
Tried that. They've tried everything with children's telly, yeah. Why? What children lack is an extended family, so the ideal age group for people to present children's programmes is actually grandparents. Because of migratory habits, more and more children are being born outside the easy visiting distance of their grandparents. So more and more children are growing up without the influence of the third generation around them. And yet if you look at all the kids' programmes nowadays, you will find that all of the presenters are aged about 15.
But it's not just that, though. I think grandparents these days are selfish, too.
They are selfish bastards. I couldn't agree with you more. If I don't waste bullets on them, use blunt instruments. Bollards. That's what they kill people now with in Australia. Bollards. Who's this?
Good evening, Tommy.
Good evening, Alan.
Evening. I want to talk about Jade Goody.
Okay.
I've got to express condolences to her family and her two lads for this most painful loss.
Shall I tell you what pissed me off today? OK Magazine ran an obituary, a tribute, I suppose, to Jade Goody, and it hit the bookshelves before she died.
Yeah.
And the Press Commission received over 100 complaints from people about that.
Yeah.
And I really want to know, what were they complaining about? What is the basis of that complaint? Does anybody know? Do you know, Fiona? Can you have any idea?
Well,
Alan, do you have any idea what the buggers are complaining about?
Well, I guess that it's being insensitive.
That's not.
No, but I guess that's what they're complaining about.
Jade Goody was, and the people who were around her, signed away and agreed to all forms of media activity in connection with the final chapter of her story.
That's right.
Yeah. And I would suspect that some money changed hands in relation to her and that magazine. I don't know that that's the case.
Yeah, of course
but
it's the case.
It's perfectly possible. But
I think I know who we have to thank for that.
You have to
Max Clifford.
Yeah, he's all right, Max. I won't hear a word said against him. I know Max. I say I know
Yeah,
Max.
he's a good man, Mr. Clifford.
He is a good man. I met him plenty of times, and he's spotless, is Max Clifford. A real diamond. I'd vote for him. If this country had a president, I often wonder, who would you go for? Stephen Fry would be good, Richard Branson would be good, but Max Clifford would be pretty good as well.
I can tell you who wouldn't be a good president.
Okay.
Matt Hollick.
I don't know what you're talking about, but you wanted to talk about Jade Goody, and I got in your way. So, Alan, I want to know what you think about Jade Goody.
I mean, I watched her when she was on Big Brother the first time, and the press bullied her about being a pig and all that, but she won the media over by her down-to-earth attitude. And her Jade is like pretending that East Anglia was abroad. And I thought that she would do all right for herself out of all the housemates who entered that series of Big Brother. But for her to come back and cause the whole Salt the City thing, I think that was a bit of a bad mistake on her part.
Yes. What, being racist?
Yeah, it was a bit of a bad mistake on her part.
Yes, it was, yes. It always is, isn't it, being racist?
Yeah, but she had the decency to apologise, and then she went to India to build bridges over that, and that's when she had the terrible news about her cancer.
Yes. All that is correct.
Yeah, but like I say, my main concern is, what are the two boys going to, how are they going to cope in the world without their mum?
Well, the same way that all boys and girls cope in the world without their mum, I suppose, a bit like the two princes.
I mean, you can't compare Bobby and Freddie to William and Harry.
Why not?
Well, you can in one respect, you fool. They both lost their mothers at far too early an age.
Yeah.
How about, is that a comparison or what?
Granted, I'll give you that, but at least she's earned enough money when she was alive to secure their financial future.
What we're talking about here is how you deal with this enormous loss.
Yeah.
And when you worry about Jade Goody's children, in order to find out what it is that you should or could have legitimate concerns about, unless you want to use your own rampant imagination, which most of us do, you should really study the case histories of people who have been through this difficulty when they were young. And all I was saying was that the first example of that sprang to mind were the two princes, who I think gain some strength and comfort from the fact that they themselves are able to talk to each other about it, of course, as Jade Goody's children will. And they also have the memory of somebody who they loved and who did her best for them whilst she was alive right up to her death.
Yeah, and they've got the support of their dads as well.
Yeah. So, have the princes turned out all right?
Yeah.
Not too bad. Harry's a bit of a plonker from time to time, but then who isn't?
Well, I can't argue with Harry.
See, I have this theory, Alan, and I don't know whether you'll agree with this.
What's your theory, Tommy?
My theory is that all each of us has to really do whilst we're here is be slightly better parents than our parents were to us, and then our children will be slightly better parents to their children than we were to them, and so it goes on, and that's how humanity gets better and better.
So it's like the whole generation gap thing.
No, it's...
The whole generation gap.
No, it's not like the generation gap at all. Alan, I've got to crack on, but thank you very much indeed for your call.